Today the River Severn is going to show us all how daft this globe Earth theory really is. As if we didn't already know.
Hi and welcome back. It's been quite some time since I've looked at Level Earth Observer. I've left him alone to play with his cranes, but I had a dip into his channel yesterday and I found he's got a new video out with another evidence destroying the globe, and it does not involve cranes.
Well, this is going to be good.
Roll VT.
This is really hard work. Even though it's the end of summer, the ground up on this moorland is still pretty soggy. My surroundings might look pretty anonymous, but the spot where I'm standing now is actually the source for the mighty River Severn, the longest river in Britain.
See, I told you, no cranes. Actually, there's no ISS either, no pantomime satellites whatsoever. This is going to be good. Hopefully, it's something to put up a bit of a challenge to us globies.
And a river I'm very familiar with, as it ends actually in the channel there, and I've been going to the channel since the 70s. Let's get some information on the river, bear with me. Let's get some basic stats regarding the River Severn from Wiki here. The River Severn, at 220 miles long, is the longest river in Great Britain. It rises from the Cambrian Mountains in mid-Wales.
From the Cambrian Mountains? I'm Brian, and so are my mountains.
It rises from the Cambrian Mountains in mid-Wales.
Adam, it's Cambrian.
An altitude of 2,001 feet. Bear with me. It's got an image showing the path of the river, starting obviously at the source, Plynlimmon, goes up, around, comes all the way down, and ends at Severn Beach, where essentially the mouth of the river, or the official end of the river, is at the second Severn crossing, which is at Severn Beach.
Okay, so we've got a long river called the River Severn, which ends at the mouth of the River Severn, quite near the Severn Bridge and the Severn Beach. Okay.
So now I've got the source's altitude, and of course the end of the river. But rather than follow the river's route, I want to know what the distance is from the source to the mouth of the river as the crow flies. And it turns out it's 78 miles as the crow flies from the source of the river in Wales to the mouth of the river, the end of the river, at Severn Beach. Okay?
Always like to keep my audience riveted.
Now I've got my 78 mile figure as the crow flies between the 2 points of reference, the source of the river and of course the mouth of the river. I'm now going to calculate how much curvature, according to the globe maths, there is or should be between those 2 points of reference.
Okay. Why?
For example, let's say I'm stood at the mouth of the river at sea level. I want to know how much curvature there is between myself at the mouth of the river and the source of the river 78 miles away.
Adam, I think you were more interesting when you were getting things wrong about cranes. I hope you've got a really good conclusion to all this.
And I calculate, and I get a figure of 4,056 feet of curvature or drop over that distance, which is quite a lot of curvature.
Not really, Adam, because that's the amount of curvature you get on a sphere with a radius a little under 4,000 miles.
Now remember, we're told wherever we are in relation to the globe, we're on top of the globe, and everywhere going away from us is bending down in all directions, essentially curving down and away from us.
Well, it's not really curving down, it's curving away from your local horizontal.
Now that works great when we're on the source of a river, i.e. up high. The river's running downhill from the source to the mouth, and that all works lovely and dandy.
Yes, Adam. Every single river in the world flows to its mouth from its source, which will be at a higher elevation.
Problem is, when we reverse the roles, and I go to the mouth of the river rather than the source, we can see the obvious problem.
Yes, Adam, I think that everybody can see the obvious problem.
The globe now starts to fail dramatically. Remember, the curvature between the 2 points of reference was over 4,000 feet. So essentially 78 miles away, sea level is 4,000 feet below me when I'm stood at the mouth of the river. We can add 2,000 feet for the height of the source of the river, but essentially the source of the river is still going to be 2,000 feet below my feet.
Don't you say it, Adam. Don't you dare say it. You better not say it, Adam.
Essentially, the river's now going to have to run uphill. It's now going to have to run uphill towards the mouth of the river.
He said it. Life used to make sense. Do you know what's going on?
I don't know entirely exactly what is going on, but I do like fluffy kittens.
If the earth was a ball and I'm stood at the mouth of the river, and of course they tell us when wherever we're stood, we're on the top of the ball and it bends and curves away from us in all directions.
Adam, there is no top. There is no bottom to the spherical earth.
Great, but it fails dramatically when we're dealing with rivers. Works when we're stood at the top, but when we're stood at the mouth of the river, you can see from the diagram and of course the globe mathematics, we have an obvious fail, an obvious problem here.
Okay, Houston, we've had a problem here. This is Houston. Say again, please. Houston, we've had a problem.
I think, Adam, that you've got more of a problem than a main busby undervolt.
Something that they're saying happens that of course doesn't happen in reality. Another failure for the globe, which of course isn't reality.
Adam, you having the faintest idea of what reality is rapidly being assigned a very low level of probability.
Remember, the source of this river, when I'm stood at the mouth of the river, according to the globe maths, is 2,000 feet below my feet, 78 miles away. Essentially 78 miles away, curving and dropping over 2,000 feet.
Yes, I'll hold. NASA. Oh, hi. Is this the Shield Department? Yeah, thank you. I just wondered, why has no one ever thought of this perfect flat earth proof about rivers not being able to run uphill?
And then think of the mad journey this river has to make to get to me if the earth was a ball.
Yes, I'm afraid some numpty crane driver in the UK. He's sussed it all out. Can you let Neil deGrasse Tyson know?
Clearly ridiculous.
Yes, Adam. Clearly ridiculous.
2,000 feet below me, that river has to run uphill. Think about that.
What I'm thinking about, Adam, is the fact you're allowed to operate dangerous machinery, such as door handles and teaspoons.
Now this is reality. A level earth with highs and lows, of course the source being up high on a level earth and the mouth of the river being at sea level on a level earth. And it doesn't matter where you are, if I'm at the source at the top or I'm at the mouth of the river, doesn't matter which way I'm looking, the water is always running in the right direction, i.e. downhill.
Did IQs just drop sharply while I was away?
I think they must have done, Ripley. Adam, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. Not because I think you're right, but because I think that nobody could be so cretinously stupid as to seriously put this forward as some sort of evidence. One last try, Adam. Explain it to us.
It doesn't work on the globe. It only works on the globe if I'm on high on the source. If I'm on the mouth of the river, clearly it doesn't work. But on the level earth, it works both ways. I mean, this is obvious truths anyway. This shouldn't be difficult. This subject shouldn't be difficult. If you don't entertain the propaganda, you stick to what is, it's obvious.
Right, stop that! Silly!
Quite right, Colonel. It's utter tosh. Adam, your river theory has about as much calorific value as the hole in the middle of a donut. I believe that there's a small pool of vomit next to the dog and duck down an alley that is more enticing than your ideas. Your dynamics of river flow thoughts are about as clever as when Abe Lincoln said, "I'm bored, let's go out and take in a show." Still, at least, Adam, it's just you. Well put together, Leo. This is brilliant, thanks. Good work. Do you think the 7 is an impossibility? Try calculating the 5,000-mile Nile River curvature path. It is a real conundrum, since the entire path of the Nile would be a giant waterfall from beginning to end in the globe model. In Climb World, sea level is round, so they just disregard it. They say it's still going downhill because in their world, space comma, level is round. Oh, I see that you have some gimboids in your comments, actually agreeing with you on your river theory. Well, I do despair. I'm going to nip off now and shoot myself, but don't worry everybody, I'll be quite humane. Until next time, stay sensible.
Ugh, that was so bad it locked up my computer.
Quick, let's get out of here before it finds the key. No, I mean it.
All right.
Shut up and sit down.